Welcome back to the Left Seat, Right Seat. This is Jeff. We're pretty passionate about what we do around here. We started this project. It's a passion project of ours for taking care of soldiers and veterans, not just soldiers, but soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines. My job back in the day was taking care of soldiers on my crew, and then picking up soldiers in maybe their worst day off the battlefield, depending on what happens. So, when it comes to veterans, I'm a veteran. I had to transition, and there's a lot of people that helped me along the way for different things that I struggled with or had problems with, or even successes with. And so, one thing CJ and I have talked for years about doing is just giving back somehow, right? So what we wanted to do was gather people that we knew, and by extension, other veterans who've struggled with some things and had some issues maybe, but found some success in their chosen endeavor, which it could be vocation, it could be school, it could be, starting their own veteran success thing, politics, whatever it is. We're going to find all those people and present them to you, interview them, and let you see what you want to do, right? And if we can reach that one guy or gal who's needs direction and give them some direction, that's exactly what we want to do. So that's what we're about. That's what I'm about. CJ is going to tell you a little about him too. Why are you here, buddy?
All right. Hey guys. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm really passionate about this project as well because, I think if you're a veteran and you've known somebody and lost somebody as well, right? Like we've all lost somebody either from suicide or just in life, right? A veteran, friend, family member, whoever. And I want this to be a way to help with everybody, help them transition easy and help them find their path after the military or whatnot. Even if they want to stay in, it doesn't matter. You can still come here and just get information about life and how to do things and just regain all the power that you'll be losing once you move out of the military, because there is a loss of power and a mental impact of that. You're going to be moving into another position, right? Like Jeff, he was an officer, right? He was a head pilot. Like, coming out of the military, now he's got to go work for somebody else after he's used to giving all the orders on the helicopter, right? And then me as a crew chief, I was in charge of everything behind the cockpit, and then he was in charge of me. So, there's that loss of power because you're gonna have to go back and work for somebody else now. Like, for me, it was okay because I was used to working for him. For him, it's a little tougher, right? He's used to being the guy in charge, yelling at everybody. So now you have to go and work for somebody else. So there's that loss of power, and then there's just the struggle with going back into a life that you were out of for a long time, right? Even if it's 2 years, the world changes in 2 years, and you were a civilian before, but now you're not anymore, right? And it doesn't matter that you're going back into a civilian life, you'll never be that same civilian again. And civilian life is not the same for you at all anymore. You've learned so much, you've experienced so much, whether you were deployed or not, it doesn't matter. You're still used to being in a military, and you have that military mindset, right? So you're goal orientated and everything else. And when you get out and you have to deal with people that never had to do anything for themselves in their lives, and they're like not goal orientated and they're not doing anything, like you're just there, and you're like, why are you being so stupid? Come on, bro, we have to do this now. Let's get it done and we can go over, and you're over here BSing, and you're just like, you have to deal with that. And all that can get in your head, and like I said, like me and Jeff, we both lost a good friend that was in our unit to suicide as well. and we've lost other friends in missions and everything else. So I would like for me to be able to help people cope with that transition so that it makes it easier for them, and they don't have that struggle. They don't even have that thought of like, oh man, I can't do this or anything else, you know, and life is crazy and I just can't move on and I can't deal with civilian life, or you know, it's the I miss the army or the military, whatever branch you were in or whatnot. You're just, I want to help that transition so that there's no you know, everybody's gonna have that struggle, but I want to ease that struggle. So I don't want to say that there's no struggle, but I just want to ease that struggle for everybody and help them through as best as I can. And you know, by doing this, I hope, you know, with between the BSing that me and Jeff are going to be doing on the regular, and whoever else we have, you know, hosting, hosting as a guest, I hope, you know, that helps you guys out, gives you a path to follow, and gives you something to think about, and to just help you on your way and help you on your new journey, you know, because you're moving into a familiar world, but a familiar world that has changed drastically, and you have changed drastically as well. So I want to help you deal with that change and help you continue to grow as a person, and just don't stagnate once you leave the military, and don't think that you can't do anything else afterwards, because you definitely can. There's many people out there that have done it. Some of them are politicians now. You know, some of them have become president, right? Like you got to deal with who and what you are as a person, and realize that you can do whatever you really want. And you know, you got to get out of your own head and deal with everything else, right? Because if you get in your own head and you start thinking, I can't do this, that's when shit goes wrong, you know. And I want to be there to help you when you're thinking things are going wrong. And you know, and Jeff feels the same way. He's, you know, just as passionate about this as I am, and I'm just a little bit more long-winded than him. So,
Well, I was thinking while you're talking too, it's not just the transition though, it's the milestones
right.
after you get out, and you know, the whether you have kids when you're in, or
Mhm.
kids when you get out, or you know, different marriages because people get divorced, or you know, vocation change, you go to school and you know, get a new degree, and then you're doing something completely different, you're moving around the United States or the world, like all those transitions have
Mhm.
their own stresses too, and
Right.
we've been through them, and other people we know
Yeah.
been through them, and each one can slap you back sometimes, and then you know, sometimes you need to just fall back on some people who've been there before, and that's what we're trying to put forth.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, that's
Sounds
it,
good, man.
guys.